The huge ruling against the NFL, the league ordered to pay billions of dollars over its Sunday ticket subscription service.
Could cost the league more than $21 billion.
This ongoing Sunday ticket trial is a pretty big deal. People like Roger Goodell and Jerry Jones testifying in open court. Sunday ticket has always been a premium product. It's always been a very high price. The NFL deliberately sets the price high, requires the price to be high, to protect the free over-the-air broadcasts in every market on Fox and CBS.
It's like a $14 billion settlement that is going to have to be paid from the NFL to millions of Sunday ticket purchasers who can sign up to get a payment from being bamboozled, seemingly.
I have been very disappointed with the coverage of the Sunday ticket trial. It wasn't covered in real time the way it should have been.
So originally I wasn't gonna make this video because this video is about the obnoxiously high price of the NFL Sunday ticket. I didn't want to make this video because who owns the Sunday ticket? YouTube. Where do I upload my videos to and try to make money off of them? YouTube. So I was scared that if I made this video, maybe YouTube would like put me on some sort of blacklist where they wouldn't show my video to people and they just wouldn't push it out, and you know, maybe they'd blacklist my channel or something. But then my last video only got like 500 views anyways. So I decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to get back to the basics. I'm going to talk about the things that I care about, the things that I like, and what happens, happens. Let's just make good content. So here we go. Before we get to the content, please be sure to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And then if you want to be really cool, also turn on that notification button so that you don't miss an upload. The NFL Sunday ticket has always been a premium service. It's always been insanely expensive under the lie that buying the Sunday ticket gives you every NFL game, when in fact the Sunday ticket gives you every out-of-market game on Sunday only. In case you didn't know, on Sunday, CBS and Fox broadcast all of the games being played at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and between 4 to 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are the time slots for Sunday NFL games on CBS and Fox. On your local Fox and CBS station, you get 3 games every Sunday. If you have a local team, you get your local team or teams, and then CBS and Fox fill the remaining time slots in your market. For instance, if you live in Charlotte and the Panthers are playing at 1, you'll get the Panthers game at 1, let's say on Fox, and then maybe you get the Patriots on CBS at the same time, and then at 4 or 5, maybe you get the Chargers on CBS. The next week, you'll get back-to-back games on Fox and a game on CBS. You always get 3 free games a week from CBS and Fox. Remember, technically CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC, those channels are considered free because if you have an antenna, you actually don't have to pay for those channels. They get broadcast over the air. I do understand that if you have cable, you still have to pay for basic cable in order to get those channels. Now here's where the NFL Sunday ticket becomes useful. If you live in Charlotte, but you're a Seahawks fan, then you're probably not going to get very many Seahawks games on your local CBS and Fox stations on Sunday. So what can you do? You can buy the NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube, and then you get all of the Fox and CBS games on Sunday that aren't being shown on your local Fox and CBS stations. So if your local CBS does happen to be showing the Seahawks game, you need to have either cable or an antenna in order to watch that game. Now keep in mind, the Sunday ticket, that doesn't include the Sunday night game on NBC, although technically that's another free channel. Let's say the Seahawks were playing in London on Sunday morning. Well, that game's probably on NFL Network or ESPN, which is also not included in the Sunday ticket. Any Monday night football games that are exclusively on ESPN, that's not included in the Sunday ticket. Thursday night football on Amazon Prime, that's not included in the Sunday ticket. Peacock has a game in week 1 on Friday night. They also have a wild card playoff game. Those games are not included in the Sunday ticket. Netflix has 2 NFL games on Christmas this year. That's not included in the Sunday ticket. Despite the fact that with more games being played on more days of the week across more networks, which means less games on Sunday, which means less games on Fox and CBS, which means the value of the Sunday ticket has actually gone down. The cost of the NFL Sunday ticket is as high as ever. It's $449 just for CBS and Fox out of market games and $489 if you want the Red Zone channel as well. That is fucking insane, especially when you compare it to products from other leagues. The MLB TV, which includes every out-of-market MLB game every day of the week for 162 games a year played in the MLB, 140 a year. That gives you every MLB out-of-market game. The NHL out-of-market games are available on ESPN Plus, which is $11 a month. NHL regular season goes from October to April, so that's a little under $80 a year if you just went month to month and then you canceled at the end of the season. The NBA League Pass is $100 a year, but you want the real slap in the face? The NFL actually has a service available in other countries that gives you every single NFL game, regardless of what network it's being played on, regardless of where it's being streamed. Every single game is available on this service called NFL Game Pass. In Brazil, NFL Game Pass is $53.64 USD a year. That's what it costs in Brazil to get every NFL game, and here it's $500. You might be thinking, oh yeah, but those games, they're probably being played in Spanish. No. It is the same broadcast that you're getting here in America. It's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, or Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, or Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt. It is the exact same broadcast that you get here. How do I know this for certain? Well, because when I lived in Japan for 3 years, I had NFL Game Pass for 3 years. That's how I watched all of my NFL games. That's right. I lived in Japan for 3 years. I've been around. So why is it so expensive in the US and so cheap in other countries? Well, according to a lawsuit filed by the Mucky Duck Pub out of San Francisco and 2 million other plaintiffs that joined the class action lawsuit, the NFL deliberately drives the price up in the US because they want you to either spend such a stupid amount on this thing that they don't care. Fine, watch whatever you want to watch if you're willing to spend that much, or fine, don't get it. Then you're going to watch whatever games we want you to watch, because that way the NFL can drive more people to certain games, and that way there's more eyes on those games. That way advertising dollars go up. The Fox game of the week that's on at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time, or the CBS game that's 4:25 Eastern Standard Time, alternate weeks, that's what the NFL wants you to watch. Higher viewership on those games means higher advertising dollars, means more money for the NFL, more money for CBS, more money for Fox. Well, according to a court in Los Angeles, the NFL can't do that. It's an antitrust violation. The NFL tried arguing that they have a valid exception. The plaintiffs argued that they did not. And the plaintiffs won, NFL lost. To be clear, the NFL is appealing the ruling, which means this case is probably going to go all the way up to the Supreme Court, which means it's going to be about another year or two before we have a final conclusion to this thing. But the NFL really can't make the argument that the cost of the Sunday ticket is reasonable. It isn't. Compared to all other leagues, for significantly less games, their product costs more. For that matter, forget the other leagues and the other products. Compare the US version of the Sunday ticket to their own product. NFL Game Pass includes more games, because it includes literally every single NFL game, for a lot less money. So in other words, the NFL could charge less for the Sunday ticket because they could match the cost of their foreign product. They deliberately choose not to. One little piece of evidence that came to light during the trial was what ESPN wanted to charge for the Sunday ticket. Reportedly, when the NFL was deciding who to give the rights to sell the Sunday ticket to, ESPN wanted to sell a version of the Sunday ticket for $70 a year. YouTube said, we'll keep the price high, and that's why the NFL went with YouTube instead of ESPN. Now, this led me to a question about YouTube. Why would YouTube be okay with selling the Sunday ticket for such a high price? Keep in mind, YouTube actually has to pay the NFL around $2 billion a year for the rights to sell the Sunday ticket. And when they have to sell the Sunday ticket at such a high price, there's no way that they could expect that enough Americans are going to go ahead and just pay them $500 a year to where they could actually recoup $2 billion and then make a profit. Back in October, Anthony Crupi of Sportico reported that Alphabet, aka Google, who owns YouTube, is going to lose $9 billion between 2023 to 2029 on the Sunday ticket. It was estimated that the Sunday ticket had 1.5 million subscribers last year, which would mean the Sunday ticket generated around $570 million, But since Alphabet paid the NFL $1.7 billion for the 2023 to 24 season, that would mean last year was a $1.2 billion loss. With Alphabet reportedly earning over $300 billion in 2023, I don't think they're losing sleep over the $1.2 billion loss, especially since they probably don't actually care about the NFL per se. Alphabet probably views the Sunday Ticket as a long-term play to bring consumers in to YouTube TV ahead of the inevitable. That inevitable being that at some point cable is going to go away, and the only way to watch live TV and sporting events is going to be through live TV streaming services. I mean, look, that's the inevitable. That is the future. There's no fighting it. That is going to happen at some point in time. Currently, our internet systems in America still rely on cable lines, so obviously cable companies still have the inside track for now. But at some point, we're going to have 8G towers. Have you noticed that Xfinity is slowly transitioning into the mobile game? Have you noticed that T-Mobile keeps pushing their home internet services more and more? These are very calculated moves because at some point, the way that you get your internet is going to change. At some point, the way you watch live TV is going to change. I'm guessing Alphabet is hoping that the Sunday Ticket can give them a head start so that they can lead the way once live TV becomes exclusively streaming. Now, one of the most fascinating parts about this entire story is the way that NFL media hasn't been covering it at all. Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk is pretty much the only one reporting on the Sunday Ticket trial, and that's actually for a reason. Obviously, Fox Sports can't really report that they've been in on this scam to rip off NFL fans. CBS Sports can't really report that they've been in on this thing where they've been ripping off NFL fans. And even ESPN has been reluctant to report on it because they don't want to piss off their great partner in the NFL. The reason Mike Florio is different is because he still owns half of Pro Football Talk. So NBC Sports can't really tell him what to report on and what not to report on. By the way, Mike Florio is probably the best person to report on this because he actually used to be an attorney. So he actually understands the in and outs of the legal system a little bit better than most reporters would know. My take is this. On the one hand, I get that this is a business. If you're the NFL, you want to make the most money possible while losing the least possible. And if that means making your own product so insanely expensive that people won't get it because now that drives more money towards advertising dollars for the CBS and Fox games, apparently you do it. But that greed does come with a slap in the face to American consumers. Because the fact of the matter is, either way, the NFL gets $2 billion a year from YouTube for the Sunday Ticket package. And instead of being satisfied with that, the NFL tried squeezing every little nickel and dime they could by controlling the market and controlling what games you watch on Sunday. That greed looks like it's going to cost them big time. The NFL made $13 billion in revenue last year. They're going to lose somewhere between 14 to 20 something billion in this lawsuit if they do in fact wind up losing to the Supreme Court down the line. But you know what? Good, because they found a way to screw over their American consumers. Remember, this doesn't apply to other countries. The NFL Game Pass that's available in other countries is significantly cheaper. That is at a competitive price to the other products that are out there and includes more games and is a better product overall. Instead, the NFL went, hey, how about all of our Americans? Let's charge them as much as we can possibly charge. Let's see how much we can squeeze out of every single one of them. So naturally, like most consumers should be, we're all rooting against the NFL in this lawsuit because ultimately when they lose, they might just do what they were supposed to do in the first place. What they should have done in the first place is just gone, hey, YouTube, or back in the day when it was DirecTV, hey, DirecTV, just give us our $2 billion a year that you're going to give us so that you can sell the Sunday Ticket. Give us the $2 billion. You can charge whatever you want for Sunday Ticket. We don't care. Charge what we don't care. Just give us our $2 billion, and then whatever you charge is what you charge, and that's your business. However you got to recoup your money, that's how you recoup your money. Or if you're the NFL and you go, yeah, but if they do that, they're actually going to make more money than us, and we don't want that. Well, that's on you because you, NFL, had an opportunity when the contract expired with DirecTV. You could have kept the Sunday Ticket all to yourself and been like, hey, from now on, we're doing NFL Game Pass in America as well. And we're launching a product here. And we're not going to share with anybody. And we're going to make more than $2 billion a year. We're going to make several billion because we're going to charge it at an affordable rate. Everyone's going to do it. However you wanted to do it, it's on you, NFL, for screwing this whole thing up. Couldn't be happier that you lost the $14 billion. Maybe, just maybe, this means that it will be a more affordable product for Americans in the future.